Bradenton Motorsports Park, April 8th, 2021. We learned this morning that we're not going to see the Plaid until July at earliest. So we're out here with the Raven. A lot of cars out here tonight, about 100 cars already. We're early. And we have a little bit of a headwind. It's warm tonight, about 90 degrees. All right, our first race tonight is against this old Buick Skylark next to me. I haven't seen it run before, but it sounds fairly sedate. But it's got Mickey Thompson drag radials on it, so I'm not going to take it lightly. Big Mickey Thompson drag radials. Back to the Skylark. Oh shoot, I better switch to race mode. Better switch this off. How much of a race that was. All right, it's 89 degrees out here, and we're also at 89%, about to make our second pass. We used, I don't know, 2.5% or something for that first pass. We came in with 92%. Looks like we might be running this white C8 Corvette. Not certain yet. It's just kind of luck of the draw of how these lanes line up when we get to the front. The C8 Corvette runs low 11s. Just enough room for a helmet back here. These on the stock Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss. This is a Corvette we've raced before. He runs 11.1. I think last time we raced I gave him the move, but last night I lost a race by giving somebody the move. So we're not running that much faster than him. We'll just take it off the tree. That way I can practice my light. All right, he's warming up his tires. I don't think he did last time we raced. He's revved up. Here we go. He red lit, but I'm going to drive around him anyway. 156, 60 foot to his 162. Red lit, but I'm going to drive around him anyway. 156, 60 foot to his 162.
I had to jump on you, I'm sorry.
You did that last time.
I know. It's a Tesla.
I almost forgot about that. Last time we raced, I gave him the move, and he jumped the light. He went red, and it's kind of like there's no reason to red light when somebody's giving you the move, unless of course you're just trying to fool them. But it was a fun race again. Good times. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, we ran a 10.801, 120 miles an hour only. Previous pass was 10.795, so only 0.06 of a second different. Mercedes CLS400, it's got some modifications. I'm looking at a twin turbo setup right here. Next race, we've got a Mercedes CLS400. He's got a twin turbo V6 in that, and it is not all-wheel drive, so shouldn't be too much of a challenge here for the Tesla. This is our third pass of the night. We're at 87%. No challenge in that race. Somewhat to my surprise, that was our best run of the night. Ran a 10.787 at 121.3 miles an hour. Had a good reaction time at 0.07 on 155 60 foot. All right, next race is going to be the GT500. We've run before. This is going to be an interesting one. Beautiful car, 750 horsepower from the factory. You can see he's got this big aftermarket air box on here. It's got big drag radials. He's got big 305mm Mickey Thompsons. ET Street R's 500, hand built with pride. All right, stop me if you've heard this one before, but we are going to attempt to use Ludicrous Plus on this final pass of the night. We're racing the GT500 that consistently runs a 10.7, and we've been running 10.8s tonight, so set it up for Ludicrous Plus. It said it needed 15 minutes. That was 16 minutes ago. And it still says 5 minutes remaining, so I'm not sure it's going to say ready by the time we get to the front of the line, but we'll see. I can see water on the track, man. That sucks. And it still says 5 minutes remaining, so what can you do? All right, let's go. 150, 360 foot, that's a good sign. Looks like I got him. I got out of him and I'm moving. Let's go. 150, 360 foot, that's a good sign. Looks like I got him. I got out on him and I'm moving. Now it switches to cooling because that pass combined with the preheating takes the battery hotter than it wants to be. It was a good pass. I'm glad I didn't red light on that. That would have been a big waste. That might have been our best pass of the night. Our best pass of the night in terms of who we raced, how close the race was, and probably the best ET, maybe the best reaction time. It seemed pretty good. Let's find out here. Thank you. 10.750 with a 0.06 reaction, so solid reaction. Best ET of the night, as I expected on both of those numbers. 150, 360 foot. You know, I'm glad it didn't run a 10.5 because, you know, I was talking to the GT500 driver before the race and I was telling him our high 10.7, 10.8 flat passes from earlier, and if then I uncork a 1050 on him, it'd be like, ah, you're BSing me, whatever. But you know, maybe make another pass. We'll see if they're shutting the staging lanes down yet. That was a close race against the GT500. He ran a 10.77 to my 10.75. So 2/100ths of a second. We're gonna run it back. I don't think the Tesla has another 10.7 in it tonight, but I guess we're gonna find out. I'm expecting to be a little quicker on the tree. He'll definitely be quicker on the tree this time. All right, it looks like we timed it a little bit better this time. This is definitely our final run of the night. We're at 80% battery, and I once again set it to Ludicrous Plus, and it just popped up with ready, and there's only a couple of cars in front of us, so we should have full power, and I do mean like full power. I'm not going to use cheetah mode because I need a good reaction time on this. I'm expecting the GT500 to run a 10.7, which means I need to run a 10.7. And I think Ludicrous Plus is my only chance to do that tonight on this last run with only 80% battery left. And of course, it's kind of a hold-up delay. Right on schedule. Battery charge just dropped down to 79%. All right, with a decent reaction time and I don't red light, we should have this. There we go. Oh wow, he left almost even. I'm out on him a little bit, but he's coming, he's coming. He's gonna be close. No, he's coming around me. Here we go. Oh wow, we left almost even. I'm out on him a little bit, but he's coming, he's coming. It's gonna be close. No, he's coming around me. I didn't get him by enough on that light. It's just a tiny bit. Be interesting to see what the ET is. I felt like the car wasn't as fast as the previous run. Thank you. Alright, so I ran a 10.796 at 122. My reaction not great, 0.155. That would be one where I lost it on the tree, or at least I had the ability to win it with a good tree. Now that's a time slip that I'm very eager to see. 10.751, I think that's what I ran on the previous pass. Oh, but you treed me that time. I had a 0.15 on the tree and a 10.79.
But a very, very risky launch. I wasn't sure if I was going to red light or not.
Yeah.
But I got it.
So the, yeah, I was wondering whether this was beatable on the tree. A 0.11 that you beat me by, and my tree was just a little bit higher than that. So it would have taken an absolute perfect tree to beat how much better your ET was than me, based on your reaction.
I'm gonna try to get that light.
Thanks for the slip. So I had a 10.751 to your 10.77.
Oh, we ran 1075. Okay.
So two hundredths of a second between our times.
This was a lot slower because the last one was a 1070.
Yeah.
Attention in the pit area. If you need another run, you need to be in the lanes now, please. If you need another run, you need to be in the lanes now, please.
Yeah,
The lanes are getting ready to close.
60, I had 172. The last one was a 168.
Another run.
Yeah. I mean, it was over from there. That's where the time loss is. 400 slower than 60. Mile an hour is consistent. Give it that. Running 127 every time.
127.
Yeah, that's 127 every single time.
Yeah, I'm like 122, 123.